Gentlemen, welcome back to MGTOW Money, and a good day to all the new subscribers. Thanks for joining. Today's topic, how I lost over 50,000 US dollars, over 50,000, yes, you heard that correct, in the stock market. And as the cliche goes, a wise man learns from the misfortunes of others. Maybe that isn't a cliche. Maybe that's a truth that hopefully you can learn something from my misfortune, my expensive misfortune. With that said, this, of course, is MGTOW 2.0. This is the second wave of MGTOW. We have transcended women. This is the only video, podcast, whatever you want to describe it, where we consistently talk about practical, actionable steps that you can put into effect immediately to increase your options and choices in life. That you, the MGTOW, can master your money, because that's what it comes down to. If you want to increase your options and choices in your life, you're either going to master your money or it's going to master you. It's a very binary type of thing. So, before we get to today's topic, let's quickly talk about last video's homework, which hopefully you did. Specifically, I was talking about make a list of everything that you can sell very, very quickly and easily. In other words, start getting rid of some of that excess junk crap that you've got. And you know the types of things that I'm talking about, whether it be the bicycle that you bought 7 years ago that's gathering dust in the garage or the basement or wherever it may be, whether you've got old clothes, whether you've got old furniture, whether you've got an old stamp collection, comic book collection, video cartridges, it's irrelevant. You know you've got stuff that you haven't touched in years. And the point is that stuff can be turned into something better, specifically turned into money, to cash. Let me give you some examples of how I eat my own cooking here, shall we? So, for example, I had gotten a couple of gift cards as gifts. Hey, thank you very much. And, for example, I sold those gift cards. I didn't have a need for them. I wasn't going to use them. One of them was for Starbucks, for example. I don't go to Starbucks, or I don't go there very often. So although I didn't get a dollar for dollar value for my gift card, I got about 80 cents on the dollar. I'd rather take that 80 cents on the dollar and turn it into something more productive, more than I want, more than I need. Another example, I got rid of some excess furniture. I had some old bookshelves that I had that weren't being used. They were sort of in storage in a closet, that type of thing. I took those to a consignment store. I got rid of those. I didn't get a lot of money, but you know what? I got something even better. I got a sense of freedom. I got something off my plate. I freed up some space. What this all comes down to is you're going to gain two things. One, obviously, you're going to gain some money. You're going to increase your cash flow. That's critical, because I need you to start increasing your cash flow to, if you haven't already, get your debts paid off. Listen to some of my prior videos about paying off your debts. Number two, assuming that you've got your debts paid off, start putting it towards savings. Start putting it towards savings. If you want to hit your magic number, which is something we talked about in the last video, you've got to start saving money. There's no way around it. It's an easy formula. The more that you save, the quicker that you'll hit your magic number. Number two, the other great thing about selling some of this crap is that I can focus better. In other words, I want to start focusing, and I want you to start focusing on the 20% of things that you really love. There's only a few things that all of us say, man, I love this. I absolutely love this, and there's no way I'm going to get rid of it. But most of the stuff you can get rid of. 4 out of 5 things that you've got around you, you can get rid of. You really don't need them. And they're not having that much of an impact on your life. All those books that you might have on your bookshelf, most of them you don't hardly look at. I'm speaking from personal experience. Again, that's something else that I have gotten rid of a lot of books that I read once. Okay, put it on the shelves. It's gathered dust ever since. Get rid of that crap. Again, increase your cash flow, increase your focus. Now, let's talk about today's topic. This brings tears to my eyes, actually. How I lost over 100,000 USD in the stock market. Yes, it is true. I am sad to say. And by the way, no, it wasn't on one particular stock. It wasn't on one particular transaction. It was a few different transactions over a period of time. But yes, I lost the money. It evaporated. It's gone. With that said, and I was thinking about how did it happen, why did it happen, etc. First of all, the one thing we all need to take away from anything like this is you're responsible. I'm responsible. I blame no one. I am responsible for every action that has ever happened in my life. And I have made some very, very, very poor choices. Buying some stocks and selling some stocks is an element of that. Specifically, though, what happened to me and what I want you to take away from my situation was I got scared. There's only two things really that drive the stock market. And those two things are fear and greed. Fear and greed. Don't let them talk about anything else. I don't care what they say. Well, the stock market went up because of this. Stock market went down because of this. Interest rates did this. The US dollar did this. War's broken out, so therefore the stock market's going to go down. No. It ultimately comes down to two things, fear and greed. Fear and greed drive all investments. Investments and investing is ultimately, at its most basis, an emotional process. I got scared. And one of the things that drove my fear was, I'm sure you've heard the saying, information is power. Well, man, I had so much information, it was unbelievable. I thought I am an expert on everything. But you know what? There's a tipping point for information, and you can have far too much information, speaking from experience. This idea that information is power, it's garbage. I'm telling you for a fact, speaking from my own personal experience. So, what's the point that I'm trying to make? How do you invest properly and not get fearful? This is what saved me. This is what you're going to need to start doing before you start investing any money anywhere. This is what you got to start doing. And I'm going to work from the assumption that you have your debts paid off. You heard that? I'm making a big assumption you have your debts paid off. Specifically, what saved me. The first building block of your financial portfolio, because we are going to build you a financial portfolio that's going to get you to your magic number. Specifically, what you need to do, you need to get cash. Yes, cash. Money in your hand, money that you can easily access. I know it sounds so silly, so elementary, but you know what? That's what the world is all about. If you just do the basics, if you do the basics, I can almost guarantee you, your life will be okay. If you'll just do those few basic things, you're going to be okay through most of your life. So with that said, whether it be bank accounts that you've got cash in, whether it be money market accounts, which are a stock brokerage account, but just in money market accounts, not money in the stock market, money in cash accounts. U.S. government bonds, short-term bonds is what I'm talking about. You might hear that term. Specifically, what I'm speaking of are non-volatile types of things that you're investing in. This is absolutely critical. This will save you. This saved me. Now, let's take it a step further. What I want you to do is I want you to build a fund, if you will, an F-U-N-D. Again, assuming that you're debt-free, of 12 months of your living expenses. So if you, and this kind of ties in a little bit to the last video, if you need $1,000 a month to live on, you need to save $12,000. Once you have $12,000, obviously, in the bank or in some sort of very short-term, non-volatile type investment, maybe government savings bonds or something like that, something that you can feel very, very secure about that's not going anywhere, I want you to pat yourself on the back. I want you to congratulate yourself. Once you get to that 12-month mark, that is phenomenal. You are doing unbelievably well. That is absolutely fantastic. And you're basically in the 1%. They talk about the 1% worldwide controls the world. Well, guess what? You're on the verge of it. You really are. If you can just get to that 12-month mark, 12 months of your living expenses, whatever that dollar amount is, just take, I need X amount of dollars to live, times 12, get it aside, get into some sort of non-volatile cash type account. You are so far ahead, man. It is fantastic. So, with that said, today's homework is going to be the following. I've got a reading assignment for you. I haven't assigned any reading assignments. There will be some more in the future, but I have a reading assignment for you. I'm going to put a link in the description to the book that I want you to get. It's available in Kindle. It's available in soft cover. I don't think it's available in hardcover. Specifically, the book is called Fail-Safe Investing. It's by a guy named Harry Browne. Don't let it concern you that it's about investing and that it might seem complex or difficult or whatever, even if you have no experience with investing. I promise you, this is an easy, quick read. I think it's maybe 100 pages, and I don't even know if it's 100 pages. It's a small little book. I haven't read the Kindle version, but it's an easy read. It's a quick read, and it gives you some very basic, fantastic information, easily relatable, easy to understand information about investing, about the stock market, as well as about looking at other investments. For example, looking at gold, looking at bonds. These are things you're going to need to know as we build your financial portfolio and ultimately we get you to your magic number. I want to sum up by saying I know many people feel confused, overwhelmed, concerned about investing, the stock market, all these crazy terms, PE ratios, price to book value, etc., currency, exchange rates, etc. Look, don't worry about it. Read Fail-Safe Investing. Read Fail-Safe Investing. I'm putting a link to the description. Take a look at it or go to the library. I couldn't care less. It's just making it easier. Fail-Safe Investing by Harry Browne. And I promise you, we're going to walk through over the next series of videos how to build your financial portfolio. You're going to discover how easy it is. And more importantly, you're going to discover how much smarter you are actually than 99.9% of the people that you hear on TV and these so-called experts. Guys, as always, I appreciate you listening. I want you to hit the subscribe button now. And if you found this information useful, hit the like button. John Galt, out.